Hello guys, I'm Ankita. In this video we shall see another problem on LeetCode. Detect capital. We define the usage of capitals in a word to be right when one of the following cases holds. Either all letters in the word are capitals or all letters in the word are not capitals. I mean they are the small letters. Or other condition will be only the first letter in the word will be capital and rest will be small letter. So if any of these three given conditions becomes true, then you return true as the answer if there is a usage of capital and it is in the right manner. Otherwise, you return false. So, if we just take an example, let's say lead code. In this example, for the third condition, you could say L is capital, but if you check the rest of the characters in this word, T is also capital. So in this case, you would return false. This doesn't satisfy the condition over here. The three of the condition. Either all the letters should be capital, all the letters should be small, or the first letter should be capital and rest should be small. So these three conditions, if it becomes true, then we return true. So how do we approach the problem? So let's have a boolean variable. Okay, boolean variable is capital equal to true. We are assuming that all the letters in a string is true. Let's have a boolean variable is capital equal to true. So as you know in Java, to check whether a given letter is character is uppercase or lowercase, we have is uppercase, right? Function, inbuilt function. In C++ we have is upper. So we'll be using that function over here. So if you see this example, all the letters will be capital, right? And we will have a variable called capital count. Capital count. Okay, this variable is not required. We will erase this. We will not use any boolean variable. Why I'll tell you later. So we'll have a variable called capital count. It's an integer value only. Let's initialize it to 0. Okay. So if you take this string and if you use is uppercase in Java, is uppercase of C and is upper in C++ of C. So this is C++, this is Java. If you use this function, if this becomes true, then we increment the capital count. So in this case, capital count would be 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 will be capital count. If we take next example, is uppercase or is upper, will it become true for any of these letters in the word lead code? No, because all are in small letters. So this will give a capital count as 0. And if we go to the next last example, Google, it will give a capital count as 1 because J is the only one capital letter found. So after the loop, if we get to know like if capital count is equal to either word length or if it is equal to 0 or if it is equal to 1, then you return true. But there is one case you have to handle. So is capital count either equal to 0 or capital count equal to the length of the word or capital count equal to 1. You have to return true. Otherwise, you have to return false. But this condition, if you carefully observe, these two are okay. These two are okay. If you observe the third condition, there is one edge case you have to check. What if we have a word, let's say Google? Is this a valid word then, according to the condition given? No. Though it has one count of capital count as 1, it won't be correct because first letter in the given word is not capital. So what should be done is along with the condition and you have to give, so put a bracket over here. So in that one condition will be either count is equal to 1 and the first letter in the given word should be capital. So word of 0 if is upper of word of 0, that is what we need to check, is upper of word of 0. So here this should be there. If this becomes and this both the condition becomes true, then only you have to return true. Not just count as if it is equal to 1, you cannot return true. That one capital letter can be any letter in the given word. First, second, last, fourth, fifth, or last letter only. But if it is, we have to check whether it is a first letter or not. That is the one thing which we need to check. So let's have a variable capital count, initialize it to 0. Then for each character in the word, so if is upper of what? C, then capital count will be incremented. And another thing what we need to check, yeah, that's it. So after the loop, we have to check if capital count equal to 0 or capital count equal to word dot length, or put in the bracket capital count equal to 1, and what should be the other and condition? We have to check if is upper of word of 0. Then we have to return true. If any of this condition doesn't become true, then we just need to return false. Yes. Okay, this should be small letter. Yeah. So here, if condition is not required, just directly we could check. So one bracket needs to be done. Yeah. If is upper, if this returns true and this also returns true, then the answer will be true. If either of them this becomes false, then the answer will be false. Yes. And for Java also the same logic, but here we use is uppercase and we convert the string to array and then we iterate over the array of characters, or else directly we can use the function if we have string dot, or let's say word, okay, word dot character at position I. This also could be used. Otherwise, you convert it into array of characters, then use directly with the indexing. So yeah. Yes, successfully submitted. If you understood the concept, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. We'll come up with another video in the next session. Until then, keep learning. Thank you.